Gaza is not a threat anymore on Israel, and this government knows it.
All right, since we are in Israel and it's a very vibrant, thriving democracy like India, bringing to you this flavor of democracy at play. We are outside the Prime Minister's office. Behind our camera is the Prime Minister's office, and these protests are happening by people who want the hostages back immediately. They are saying stop the war now and bring the hostages back. They are saying military tactics do not matter. Hamas has 50 Israeli hostages from October 7 still with them. Their situation is haunting and pathetic, and that the only way you can force Hamas to bring them back is by ending the war, stopping all military operations. These are people who believe that the Israeli Defense Forces have to be brought back, and then only brought back from Gaza, and then only the war would stop, and then only the hostages would come back. Now, just to give you an idea of the way democracy functions, so these big protests here against the government, and look at that side, another round of protests happening. Another round of protests happening. Now, those are people protesting in support of the government. So they are saying that, okay, fine, hostages need to be brought back, but then you also remember the sacrifices made by the soldiers. And Hamas does not understand the language of peace, which these activists want the government to understand. And so these activists or protesters there on the other side of the barricade, they are saying, and this is the Prime Minister's office, and they are saying that effectively you continue military operations, and with the use of force you make Hamas surrender and then get the hostages back.
I'm a citizen. My name is Yuval.
Right.
With a teacher.
And what are these protests about?
Well, it's about democracy, basically. The essence of democracy. Because our government try to make us some kind of a dictatorship. And it's all around it. Because of this, the war continue in Gaza with no...
You mean to say that...
No target, nothing.
You mean to say the war should stop?
Long time ago. Most of the people in Israel think so. We disagree with what's happening there. We just want our people back. There is something the other nations don't understand. When somebody is taking one of our own, we can be very brutal. This is something the Hamas knows, the rest of the world doesn't know it. But besides this, the force, there is nothing to do anymore.
You think you can convince Hamas to send the hostages back, release them, if you stop war?
Yes, the Hamas just want to continue live. There are few of them. It's not the Hamas. There are a bundle of people with Kalashnikov. They are no real threat. They are not a threat to Israel anymore.
You mean to say in the last 2 years, Hamas has stopped being a threat?
Not in the last 2 years, but let's say in the last 18 months. After half a year, nothing really remains. If you cut the money and you took away the leader, they are not a real threat anymore.
And what do you think about the kind of pressure coming from UK, France, Canada, that they would recognize Palestine if Israel does not stop?
Stupid. They are so stupid. The Palestine, the Muslim revolution is in the backyard, already in the main yard. They don't understand anything.
So you don't agree with them either?
I think they don't help. They represent some kind of values we share, but they don't understand really what's happened here. And they don't have influence. They don't really understand the dirty game in the Middle East. I think you in India know better what is the Islam, what is Tadia. We know how to do it, okay? But this government is not about winning a war. It's about taking a criminal out of court. There are a group of Mashiach people. They really believe in God, force, and they want to invade. Oh, they're irrelevant.
You're talking about Prime Minister Netanyahu.
not-
Well, but you mentioned India. What, are you familiar with India?
A little bit. I know that you separated from the Muslim. 15 years ago, it was bloody. It didn't end yet, okay? So you know something about it, but you are not in continuous war all the time.
Well, we recently had a war with Pakistan.
Yes, but I will agree to such a war. It's not what happened in Gaza. Look, we finished with the Iranian in 12 days. Thank you, Trump. Okay. We finished with Hezbollah, which was much more stronger. And by the way, is still much more stronger, but they are not a threat anymore. Gaza is not a threat anymore on Israel, and this government knows it. The end of the war is a threat to the government. Very, very simple.
Thank you, Yovel.